Your food obsession might not be mental, it might be hormonal. If you think about food constantly, even right after eating, if you never feel truly satisfied no matter how much you just ate, if you feel like you're fighting your own brain every single day around food, well, what if I told you this isn't a willpower problem or a character flaw? What if there's a specific hormone that's supposed to tell your brain, we're satisfied, we can stop thinking about food now? But then it is not working. Hi, I'm Sarah, a certified holistic health coach helping women heal their relationship with food and body through root cause and nervous system informed coaching. And as someone who used to think about food from the moment I woke up until I went to sleep, it wasn't until I dove deep into hormone research during my health coaching certification studies that I learned about the hormone called leptin, the one that's supposed to signal satisfaction and turn off your food thoughts. But for so many women, this hormone isn't working properly, and that's why we can't stop thinking about food all day. In this video, I'm going to explain you exactly what leptin is, how leptin resistance develops, and give you specific science-backed strategies to restore this hormone so that you can feel satisfied and turn off that food noise. But first, let me explain why your brain might be stuck in food-seeking mode 24/7. Leptin is your I'm satisfied hormone. It is produced by your fat cells and then sent to your brain. When it's working properly, it tells your brain we have enough energy stored and we can stop thinking about food now. Leptin controls more than just hunger. When leptin is working properly, it can help you stop thinking about food after eating, reduce appetite, feel satisfied with normal portions, have stable energy throughout the day, sleep better at night, and maintain a healthy weight effortlessly. But when leptin isn't working properly, your brain thinks you're starving even when you're not. The result is then that you think constantly about food, you never feel truly satisfied, you crave high-calorie foods because your brain thinks you need that quick energy from that high-calorie foods. And the cruel irony of leptin resistance, the more body fat you have, the more leptin you produce. But if you're leptin resistant, your brain can't hear the messages that the hormone is signaling to the brain. It's like having a smoke alarm with dead batteries. The alarm is there, but it's just not getting through. Here's how this hormone gets disrupted in the first place. Chronic dieting and restriction. Every time you diet or restrict calories, your leptin levels drop. This is your body's way of making you think about food so that you don't starve. But when you do this repeatedly over years, your brain stops responding to leptin properly. Then another one is high stress and elevated cortisol, as pretty much always. Chronic stress increases cortisol, which then interferes with leptin signaling, because chronic stress can decrease leptin sensitivity by affecting the brain receptors. This means even when you're producing enough leptin, your brain can't properly receive its signals. Another one is poor sleep quality. Leptin follows a daily rhythm, a circadian rhythm, and poor sleep can dysregulate appetite hormones. Sleep deprivation reduces leptin and makes you less sensitive to the leptin you do produce. Then another one is eating highly processed foods. Highly processed foods are linked to metabolic inflammation and can disrupt appetite regulation. They can create inflammation in the hypothalamus, so the part of your brain that receives the leptin signals. And this inflammation then blocks leptin from doing its job. In fact, inflammation from any source, stress, poor gut health, food sensitivities, can interfere with leptin. Your brain becomes leptin resistant the same way it can become insulin resistant. And the vicious cycle is that leptin makes you think about food more often. And thinking about food more often leads to eating more processed foods and feeling more stressed. And this creates more inflammation and more leptin resistance. So you get stuck in a cycle where your brain thinks you're starving while your body has plenty of energy stored. Here's how to get your satisfaction hormone working again. And an important note, don't try to implement all of them at once. Do this one by one because otherwise it can feel overwhelming and counterproductive. So pick one strategy to focus on for the next 2-3 weeks and then gradually add the next one. So step by step. Strategy number 1, prioritize sleep above everything else. Leptin is produced during deep sleep, especially between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. So aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep consistently, especially around that time. Create a sleep or bedtime routine, and some suggestions to help you with this are dimming lights 2 hours before bed, keeping your room cool and dark, avoiding screens and caffeine late in the day. Now start with this strategy if you're getting less than 7 hours of sleep or your sleep quality is very poor. Then strategy number 2, eat adequate amounts of protein at every meal. Protein helps improve leptin sensitivity and keeps you satisfied for longer. So aim for 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal. And it's fine if not every single meal has that protein. We just want to make sure that we prioritize and try to add it as often as possible. So include protein at breakfast to set your leptin rhythm for the day. Now start here if you're skipping breakfast or your meals are mostly carbs all the time. Then strategy number 3, reduce inflammation, because chronic inflammation, as we learned, blocks leptin signals in your brain. So make sure to include anti-inflammatory foods like fatty fish, leafy greens, berries, turmeric, ginger, garlic. And on the other hand, avoid or reduce inflammatory foods, so processed foods, excess sugar or trans fats. And maybe even consider an elimination diet if you suspect that you have some kind of food sensitivities. Now start here with this strategy if you eat a lot of processed foods or have digestive issues. Moving on to strategy number 4, manage stress consistently. Cortisol directly interferes with leptin signaling. So practice daily stress management like breath work, meditation, gentle movement, or whatever helps you feel calm. And set boundaries around work and commitments that drain you. Even 5 minutes of deep breathing can lower your cortisol and hence improve your leptin sensitivity. So start here if you're chronically stressed or overwhelmed. Strategy number 5, eat regularly without restriction. Skipping meals or severe calorie restriction tanks leptin levels. So eat 3 satisfying meals plus snacks if needed. And make sure to not let yourself get overly hungry because this disrupts leptin signaling. And make sure to include all macronutrients, so protein as we already mentioned, but also healthy fats and yes, carbs. Now start here if you're skipping meals or following restrictive eating patterns. Strategy number 6, support your gut health. Your gut produces hormones that communicate with leptin. Include fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha, and eat prebiotic foods to feed that good gut bacteria. Garlic, onions, asparagus, bananas. And maybe even consider a high-quality probiotic if you have digestive issues, but I truly believe that fermented foods are so easy to create and easy even to buy, and they are the best source. So if you want some recipes on how to create some kombucha, kefir, or whatever, hit me up on Instagram. I'm always happy to talk about fermentation. Now start here if you have digestive problems or rarely eat fermented foods. Here is a realistic example timeline. Your experience may be faster or slower depending on sleep, stress, nutrition, and your individual biology. So focus on trends over time and not the exact dates. Starting with the weeks 1 to 3, so the adjustment period, and you might notice or you might experience that you might feel worse before you feel better. And this is normal. If you start eating more regularly, you might feel anxious around weight gain, and your food thoughts might actually increase initially as your body learns to trust that food is available. Sleep improvement might happen quickly, but food obsession changes take usually longer. What to focus on? Consistency with whichever strategy you choose to start with. Being patient and compassionate with yourself. Tracking how you feel overall and not just food thoughts. Then months 1 to 2, the early shifts start to happen. So you might notice food thoughts begin to feel a bit less urgent or frequent. You have steadier post-meal energy and fewer afternoon crashes, and maybe even improved sleep quality. And what is likely happening is that your brain is starting to receive leptin signals more clearly. Inflammation is beginning to decrease, and your nervous system is learning to feel safe around food. Then months 3 to 6, more noticeable changes happen. So what you might experience is significantly fewer food thoughts throughout the day, natural appetite regulation, feeling hungry at mealtimes and satisfied after eating, stable energy without needing constant snacks, improved mood and less anxiety around food. So what is likely happening is that leptin sensitivity has significantly improved. Your brain trusts that food is available and it stops the constant food-seeking behavior. And your metabolism is even becoming more efficient. Then beyond the 6 months, the long-term patterns. So what food freedom looks like is that you think about food when you're hungry and not constantly. You feel satisfied with normal portion. You can trust your body's hunger and fullness cues. Food becomes background noise instead of the main character in your life. And remember, this timeline varies for everyone. So some people see changes in weeks, Others need the 6 or even more months to see the changes. The key is consistency and patience with the process. So if you've been obsessed with food 24/7, never feeling satisfied, blaming yourself for your lack of willpower, please know this might not be a mental issue at all. It might be a hormone imbalance that is completely fixable. Leptin resistance is real, it's common and it's not your fault. But the good news is that with the right approach and patience, you can restore your satisfaction hormone and feel at peace with food. When your leptin starts working again, the food obsession that's been consuming your mental energy can finally quiet down. So remember to start with just one strategy and don't overwhelm yourself with trying to fix everything at once. Pick the one that resonates most with you right now or that feels most doable right now, and give it 2 to 3 weeks before adding anything else. Now we know that everyone's hormone imbalances and eating patterns are different, and everyone's healing journey looks different too. And that is why I created a free quiz called What Type of Emotional Eater Are You? It just takes 2 minutes and helps you understand your food emotion patterns so that you can heal the real root cause. Take the quiz in the description below. It is completely free and you will get your results instantly. And if this resonated with you, hit the like and subscribe button, maybe even the bell, and follow me on Instagram at nourishwith.sarah for more real food talk, hormones, healing, and all of that. Drop a comment below and let me know which strategy are you going to start with first. Remember, your brain isn't broken, your willpower isn't weak. What you might need is just to heal your satisfaction hormone. So lots of love and I will see you in the next video.